Alright, hello my friends, it's Gabriel with The Last Huntsman here. I recently did a video of my entire EDC kind of small knife collection. Now I have my entire camp knife collection. Now what I kind of consider a camp knife is that handy, just 4.5 to 5.5 belt knife that is, you know, not really large enough to be a mid-sized or larger survival knife, but it's a little bit larger than a like EDC and concealable fixed blade. So I got my whole collection here, and then I have a couple of my twin brothers here as well. So I'm just going to go through all these. Actually, I'll just start off with his, and then I'll kind of work through. Now this is an early prototype design that I did. I wanted like a camp sax, and Bear Force Knives made it. If I recall right, it's an 80 CRV2 steel. Neat knife. This is Bear Force Knives Yukon. This is my twin brother's knife. Pretty awesome knife. 52-100. It would work as not only a camp knife, but like a decent little tactical knife as well. With that swedge, but you guys can check out my full review on it. Pretty hefty blade, all that good stuff. Now I'll start with my knives and kind of go from left to right here. Starting from the left, I got the Primitive Bear Knives Essential. This is a nasty, awesome looking clip point. It would make a great just defensive blade if that's what you wanted, and it's great around the woods. Fills the hand amazingly well. This one is 5/32 of CPM 3V. The sheath that it came with, of course, he has all kinds of different sheath options, but this is the sheath that I have for mine, the Kydex sheath. But speaking of Primitive Bear Knives, remember to use coupon code LASTHUNTSMAN for a 15% discount on anything over $150. Right, next we have the Lionsteel M5. Love me some good old Lionsteel knives. This would make an awesome just like general purpose belt knife and a awesome soldier blade with that deep guard. This one has the micarta grips, and I really like how Lionsteel is machining out that micarta. Gives it a lot of texture, and it's like uniform. This one fills the hand amazingly well. The sheath is a leather sheath, which honestly I like it enough that I've never felt the need to replace it. It's a very nice leather sheath. Although Armitage does make a Kydex sheath for that, and remember, Last Huntsman, all capital letters, one word, for a discount on that as well. All right, next we have the Work Tough Gear Red Wolf. I liked this knife a lot, and I still like this knife a lot. I will give it to Vic Lynn. He can design a knife. Honestly, I'll just go out on a limb and straight up say it. Vic Lynn and Alex with Aurora Borealis are the best designers with Work Tough gear. I'll say that without a doubt in my mind. This one has like the gator grip on there. Awesome. It has, just a second. Sorry, I had to kill a mosquito. Not dealing with that crap. Actually, I'm getting chewed up alive out here, but I'm doing this for you guys, right? Anyways, this one has the gator grip on it. It has a lot of texture, like it a lot. It's about 5/32 thick of SK85 steel. Awesome knife. And the sheath, let me find it. Okay. The sheath is actually really good. It also has kind of a nylon backer on there. Easy to take on and off of your pants without having to take your belt off. So I like that quite a bit. Now, the next two are recent acquisitions, and I don't have a lot of use with them yet. However, this one here is the Demko Free Reign. This one's in AUS 10 steel or AUS 10 steel. a great steel. Demko does a great job with that. The Oz steels kind of get a bad rap because, quite frankly, a lot of cheap Chinese companies are producing really bad AUS steels, but Demko is doing an amazing job with theirs. It came out of the box, just stupid hair shaving sharp. This one has kind of an over molded handle, but it still feels amazingly great in hand, honestly. And the sheath is actually a completely ambidextrous sheath, and you can put it on without having to take your belt off. And the blue, I'm not a big blue guy, but honestly, I kind of like it. All right, next is the Reef F5. I was pretty excited about this knife when I first heard about it, and I recently acquired one. I actually have to give special thanks to Reef Knives. They sent this one to me for testing and review. Natural micarta handles on it, a high saber grind of CPM 3V steel, and about 5/32 thick as well. Look at that micarta. It has a decent amount of texture, and look at the swell on that. Fills the hand amazingly well. I've become quite the fan of this knife already. And the sheath, now Reef does offer both a Kydex and a leather sheath. This leather sheath is made by Badger Claw Outfitters leather, and I've had, you know, a good number of leather sheaths. This one's actually very high quality. I'm quite impressed with it. All right, going down the list here, we have the Upic. Now this one's made by Evolution. They are based out of Montana. They're a small maker. They kind of focus on a lot of outdoor gear. And the Upic, it's actually kind of a strange looking knife overall, but it's oddly very comfortable in hand. Flies and mosquitoes and everything are just destroying me out here, so I'm going to make this a quick video. This one's 1/8 of an inch thick of Elmax steel, which I like me some Elmax steel. This one actually did pretty good in the review. The handle kind of has like that rubbery and G10 kind of feel to it. Exposed tang pommel, and the sheath on it is actually pretty nice and classy looking, and it actually even kind of, you can carry it vertically or horizontally, which is a pretty nice little feature. Now, I totally went fanboy on this knife, and I still am. This is the Schwarz Trail 5. Love this knife. Honestly, this is one of my favorite knives that I got out here, and there's a reason for it. The Schwarz does amazing work. The edge thickness and blade geometry is really awesome. This one has rich light scales, about 5/32 thick, and that good old A2 tool steel, which I don't care what anybody says, A2 tool steel is still a great steel. And look how broad that blade is, just comparing to all these others here. It's a very broad, wide blade. Really like that, and it performs outside of its weight class, quite frankly. The sheath that it came with, let's see if I can find it. Oh, right next to me is this guy right there. Nice sheath, awesome retention. Came with kind of this aluminum metal backer, and it had a leather belt loop, but I mounted a tech lock onto it so I don't have to take my belt off, because quite frankly I don't like taking my belt off. Now finally, and last but not, sorry, I got a tick on me. Last but not least, and I know some people are going to get triggered, I have a Survive GSO 4.7. This thing's pretty nice, honestly. Love them or hate them, they make a good knife. Like, you can't argue that part. Now, I will say, don't ever buy a pre-order knife. I think you're kind of, just don't do it, okay? If they don't got it in stock, don't buy it. I'm just going to leave it at that. But this one's in 3V. Very good edge thickness on there. Decent amount of swell on there. It fills my hand really good. And the sheath, you know, like them or hate them, but the sheath is actually really nice. It locks in amazingly well. It has a lot of lashing points. Comes right out of the box, good to go. And you could easily clip it on your belt without taking your belt off. That is my 4.5 to 5.5 inch camp knife collection. Actually, there's a tick right there there's one that I forgot to add to this list now that I think about it, and that is the Yukari Puko 140. So just kind of keep it in your memories. I got it stashed away in an undisclosed location. So remember our knife from Finland, because we love you, Yukari Puko 140. I just thought about it. But that's my camp knife collection. With all that being said, be prepared both physically, actually you right there, yeah, be prepared both physically and spiritually. God bless, and carry on.